The New York Knicks have gotten off to a rocky start this NBA season. They were at least competitive with the Sixers and Pacers for a half, but in the third quarter of both games, the better team took over and the Knicks got blown out. One of the biggest underachievers of these first couple of games has been Elfrid Payton. Payton had 7 points, 3 assists, and 5 turnovers in the loss to the Indiana Pacers. Then he played even worse against the 76ers, going for 0 points on 0 for 6 shooting and collecting just 3 rebounds and 1 measly assist. Now, nobody views Payton as an all-star, but he's a way better player than what he's shown thus far. Last year, Payton averaged 10 points and 7 assists per game on 44% shooting. At the very least, Payton is a solid backup, so he should be playing a lot better than this. So in this video, let's examine what's causing Payton to play so poorly. But before we continue, if you like content like this, please like the video as it really encourages the YouTube algorithm to recommend it to more people, and please subscribe as it really helps my channel grow. Now let's get started. Before we dive into Payton's struggles, let's review what he's good at. His 2 main strengths is that he's a good playmaker and he's good at driving to the rim. Now, Payton isn't a great finisher, but he can beat his man off the dribble when he wants to, and he does have some solid finishing moves. As everyone knows, the main area where Payton struggles is his shooting. Payton has been a pretty poor shooter pretty much everywhere throughout his career, but in spite of that flaw, he's still been able to positively impact teams thanks to his playmaking and driving skills. He's even capable of getting triple doubles on occasion. The problem with Payton is that the Knicks are playing him in lineups that exacerbates his weaknesses while taking away his strengths. Ideally, a player like Payton needs to play in a spaced out lineup for him to drive to the basket and run pick and roll. The problem is that the lineups with Payton have included RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson, 3 non-shooters. As a result, teams are running zone defense against the Knicks, which is a scheme that's often used against teams that lack shooters. As a result of the zone defense, Payton's driving lanes are being cut off, so his main strength is being taken away from him. The main way to beat the zone defense is to move the ball and find shooters, but teams are more than willing to live with that. Payton shot 20% from 3 last year, so who wouldn't leave Payton open if he's only going to make it 1 out of every 5 3-pointers he attempts? Against the Sixers, Payton missed all 3 of his outside shots, so it's pretty clear here. Teams are exploiting Payton's main weakness. It isn't that Payton is a bad player. He actually does a lot of things on the court pretty well. It's that Payton is playing on a team where his weaknesses can be exploited while his strengths can be taken away. This was the issue with re-signing Payton. In a vacuum, Payton is a fine player to have, but his complete lack of shooting contributed to spacing issues last year, and the same issue is resurfacing this year. Now, to be fair to the Knicks, there weren't many options to improve at point guard this offseason. The 2020 free agency class was pretty weak. Fred VanVleet was easily the best point guard on the market, but there was no way he was leaving Toronto for the Knicks. Jeff Teague probably would have been an upgrade, but he went to a contender in Boston. Because the Knicks only got the number 8 pick, they weren't able to get LaMelo Ball. And unfortunately, the Knicks don't have many other options on the roster at point guard. Now, Tibbs has tried to give other guys opportunities, but it simply just hasn't worked out. Dennis played 18 minutes against the Sixers, but he only had 4 points on a 1 of 5 shooting. Frank has received an even smaller amount of playing time, and he hasn't done much when he's actually gotten on the court. Now, I'm sure many fans are wondering why Tibbs doesn't just play Dennis and Frank over Payton, but the fact that Tibbs still prefers to roll with Payton despite his struggles really says a lot about Dennis and Frank. The Knicks' biggest hope at point guard at the moment is Immanuel Quickley, and he got hurt just 10 minutes into the first game, and who knows when he'll be back. In preseason, IQ showed some really good driving, playmaking, and shooting ability. It was as if Quickley was able to do everything that Payton can do, but while also having the ability to shoot. Quickley is probably the Knicks' best option at point guard, but he has to get healthy. If Payton continues to struggle, Quickley could definitely win the starting job. But one thing is for sure, the Knicks need to upgrade at the point guard position. There will be some great point guards in the upcoming draft, and some opportunities for trade likely will pop up at the deadline. Anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. What should the Knicks do with Elfrid Payton? How should they look to upgrade at point guard? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and enjoy the rest of your day.